Hey guys, a very good evening, and I hope everyone can hear me. This is Yogen from FOSC Technology Jaipur. So a lot of people saying good evening or raising hands. Avinash Reddy saying that good evening, sir. I have got more from this course. Thank you. Very good. Right. Um, Rupasri is saying happy evening,
People
sir.
people
Thank
are
you.
still joining, so if request if you can start 4 minutes
Yeah, I'll do that.
late.
So, Rupasri saying that happy evening, sir. Thanks a lot for this course and guidance. It was just awesome and enjoyed it. Learned a lot. Thank you, Rupasri. Uh, Mosi saying today is the last session, sir. Yeah, it's last session for this. But it is the last day for this session. We'll have more sessions in the future. So, if you are interested, you can join. Karthik Shetty saying, Subh Sandhya, sir. Yeah, thank you. Subh Sandhya, good evening. Gopinath saying, we miss you, sir. Thank you for this course. Thank you, Gopi. Uh, Lathviraj saying, good, lovely evening, sir, and it's awesome class. Thank you. Saundarya saying that sir could not do the assignment which was given yesterday. Could you please do that? Yeah, so that is the agenda for today, right? As such, there is no teaching today, but we'll take couple of things around. So one thing that we are going to take surely is discuss the assignments. So whatever the assignments that were given to you during the last, couple of days. So today we will, quickly go through what was the, a solution, how you can approach to solve those problems, right? That's we are going to, discuss today. Um, Manchela Abhishek, this is maybe the last session. I'll miss you, sir. Thank you. Okay, so Rupasri also had one question. I'll take that, Rupasri. Karthik saying course was wonderful and uh, easy to learn. Uh, so yeah, Kula will do that. Don't worry. And Jude Raymond saying, sir, give a bunch of example programs to do after this sessions. We will give you a code challenge, Raymond. You can work on that, right? Likhit Aluri saying, thank you for this course, sir, and you taught me the basics. Um, Roshan saying the way of teaching is very, very good. Everyone can understand. Yeah. So today we will share one project with you as well. So guys, what you can do, you can solve that, right? And you work on that, right? Uh, Rakesh Kannan saying the way of teaching is awesome. Uh, yeah, a lot of people. Okay. Okay, guys. Uh, oh, yeah. So, Prasanna Kumar saying, sir, I'm Prasanna Kumar, working as professor in BJSIT college. Nice to have you, sir, Prasanna, sir. Someone saying that why the sessions are in the evening. Uh, uh, Why? So we have couple of more sessions actually. That's why I keep some of the sessions in the evening as well. Uh, so Nayan Sri saying, sir, when will be the next session? So next session is coming from 4th of May, and that session is on data analytics. And it is again going to be a very, very a good session. So I would recommend all of you guys to take a look at the content. Think about that. If you have any doubts, if you have any queries, you can call the team. You can talk to us. That's what I can recommend you, right? Uh, So now there is a Satya Gopal Kothuru is saying, sir, I really liked your way of teaching, sir. So initially, let me share you a story with you. Initially, when we floated this program for the students who are from, deep south states like Tamil Nadu or AP or Telangana or Kerala or Karnataka, right? We thought that we will face the issue with communication because our accent is very different what people speak in south, right? And I don't know whether we would struggle to teach you, but I think that was just an assumption on my end. I did not find any issue with you guys, and the communication was very easy. And I find all of you guys very humble and very keen listeners. So thank you guys for your support, because a program only happens successfully when students as well are participating with a full G, full motivation, right? If that is missing in the students, then we cannot complete such programs, right? So thank you guys, all of you, right? You were awesome, students. Now, uh, so there was a question. I will answer that as well. Uh, Roshan Kumar saying, and then I'll start the teaching, guys. So today I can take a liberty that I can start the session with little delay, because I don't have to teach, but I'll take very important session today, and Sylvester sir is also waiting to discuss something with you. The assignments part he will discuss with you. Roshan saying, sir, what is your motto of providing free of cost courses? What is the motto of providing free of cost courses? Guys, what do you think? What can be our motto? What do you think, guys? I throw question back to you, right? So a lot of people saying, one coming from Sonali saying that share the knowledge what you have. Muhammad Ahil saying to educate people. Abhishek Acharya saying the promotional purpose, right? Srinivas saying to show the way you teach, sir. Swastika Coimbatore saying social help. And Rupasi saying service for student community during lockdown. So, I think almost people Venkat saying that educate people and develop employment. So lot of things can be there. Obviously, sharing the knowledge, and that too particularly in the period of lockdown, right? Is one reason. Promotion is obviously the reason, because if you run a business, right, every somehow you have to see that how you are going to run your business. So that's the one angle definitely into that. So promotion is definitely there, but along with the promotion, because for promotion, if you want to do something for promotion, you can do it just for one day. If you guys understand, if you just want to do for promotion, we can do a just one day kind of a webinar or kind of a PPT presentation, right? But I think if you want to really add a value to the student, right, it has to be a complete package kind of a program, right? It is just not kind of a touch and go, or tinker and go, right? No, we wanted some program that can really give you a value addition. So, and that's why we design such programs which go for 5 days, every day 2 hours program. And also we gave a very uh, too much time on brainstorming that how to bring our engagement, right? So if you see, guys, uh, if we skip the question answer session after 6 that happens every day with you, right? I think there would be no charm in this program, because you can see the videos on YouTube as well, right? Or you can see videos from any good professor in the world. We are not the best professor, right? I'm not the best teacher, right? But I think the best part of this program is where you can directly ask a question and we try to resolve your query, to our best of capability. It is not the 100%, I will say that maybe we can, miss some of the question, or we may not be able to answer your question, but we take that act very, very sincerely, right? So, kind of, Kangan saying that you are using geo strategy. Thank you. And Siva is saying that to make know about FOSC. Yeah, that, so promotion, takes everything around that. So outreach, program. So a lot of, things can be there. Uh, uh, Satya Gopal saying, I think you are really a student like me who faced challenging days while learning programming. Yeah, those times were difficult times, but now we are very much equipped with technology, and teaching online and offline. They all, you can make it very interesting now. uh, yeah, Divya Jyoti Bala Subramaniam. Okay, guys. Um, uh, okay, guys. Now let's start our day. uh, uh, Guys, first of all, if I talk about what we are going to do, so as usual, we always talk about what is the agenda uh, for today, right? So what the agenda for today I have taken, right, uh, uh, is two activities for today, right? Two activities for today. I'll take around 20 minutes where I will explain couple of terms which are heavily used right now in the computer science industry or IT industry, and almost 10 to 20 people from this group only, and a lot of people from outside have asked that question. So I'm just going to take that part, that people have a lot of questions, sir. Tell me, what is artificial intelligence? Tell me, sir, what is machine learning? Tell me, sir, what is deep learning? Tell me, sir, what is data analytics, right? Kind of couple of a very limited terms I will take in explaining the things. And then people have a next question, that what are the job opportunities? Because if you guys are like uh, um, you know if you guys are going into the industry after passing out, like mostly you maybe in second year or third year, maybe in final year, but once you appear for interviews, right? And one more keyword I can take here is from data science, right? So I'll take that. And the job opportunities in India, particularly, I'll talk about the local IT industry because that is more relevant to you, right? Uh, uh, and third, the agenda for today is that we will discuss the assignment solutions, right? So discuss the assignment solutions around that. So that's our, the agenda for today, right? And right, and someone says that explain about the big data as well, and explain about IoT as well, right? That's there. Uh, Now I'll take a couple of this, So guys, let me start with taking these, uh, you know, okay. So a couple of things around that. So I'll take. Let me come to that. So I have things for you. Uh, Now, guys, listen. You have heard about AI, right? Which is artificial intelligence. I'll explain that what is artificial intelligence, right? Guys, can you hear me? Because I got a concern from Sarika that she cannot hear, right? Okay. Okay, okay. Thank you. Right. So AI stands for artificial intelligence, machine learning, ML, right? ML stands for machine learning. Guys, listen carefully. It is going to be very, very interesting session. It will help you in the future. Don't worry. You know, DL stands for deep learning, right? Then we have one more term, data analytics. We have one more term called data science, right? And then we have one more term called big data, right? And someone told me to discuss around IoT as well, so I'll try to do that as well, right? So let's define these terms. So that will give you better clarity, and then we'll talk about the opportunities, job opportunities as well. Guys, first let me define what is AI. What is AI, right? So AI, like any machine. So when I talk about a machine, it can be a computer system, it can be a software application, right? It can be a hardware stuff, right? Any machine which behaves like human is a AI machine, right? Any machine, any machine which behaves like human, right? Which behaves like human is AI machine, right? But as a person, we can take hundreds of decisions from morning to evening, right? But a machine will take a specific activity only and simulate the human behavior in that specific activity, right? So machine cannot be a generalized, replica of human, because as a human we do hundreds and thousands of activities, right? But that machine can only do one or two tasks, right? And that's why I say any machine which behaves like human, right, is a AI machine. Yeah, I'm back, guys, right? So AI, any machine which behaves like human as a AI machine. Now question comes. Now comes how to achieve AI, how to make your machine, AI enabled, how to make your machine AI enabled, right? Now I take a term called machine learning and deep learning are the ways. Machine learning and deep learning are the ways to achieve AI. Did you get the difference, guys? Machine learning and deep learning are the methods, are the ways through which you can make any machine as an AI machine. Right? Sometimes people may have a different understanding, but let me let me clear you that AI is any machine which behaves like human, and how to achieve that? Then you have to use machine learning methodologies or deep learning methodologies to make your machine as an AI machine. Guys, is that clear to you? Can you please respond? Yeah, a lot of people raising hands. Yeah, thank you. Now, I will define what is machine learning now. So let me come, what is machine learning? So I have told you, right, that machine learning is the way, is the method through which you can make your machine as an AI machine, but how to define it mathematically, that is more important. So guys, now a little bit of mathematics, just, very, elementary mathematics will come here. In the mathematics, in high school engineering, high school mathematics or engineering mathematics, we have seen this equation, so many times in, during the discussions. What is this? Y is equal to fx. In mathematics, if you remember, y is called as dependent variable, right? X is called as independent variable. And f is called as mapping function. Do you agree with me, guys? Right? Y is called dependent variable. Some literature called as this as a target variable or as a response variable as well. Right? So y is a dependent variable, x is independent variable, and f is a mapping function. Now, in most of the mathematical problems that we face during our mathematics, classes, what is given to us in the question? In the question, we are provided x and a mapping function is given to us, right? Once we have x and the mapping function, we can find out the value of y. Can we do that, guys? If, right, if x and f, right, if independent variable value and the mapping function is known to us, we can easily find out the value of y, right? That is a normal mathematical problem, right? But in case of machine learning, what happens? Because machine learning is quite related to mathematics, but you don't need to be very expert in mathematics, right? It just normal understanding is good enough to deal with ML or machine learning stuff, right? In case of machine learning, guys, what is given to us? Listen me, right? In case of ML or machine learning, we are given X and Y. What is given to us? It would be given to us X and Y, right? If X and Y is given to me, using that equation, what I can find out? I can find out the mapping function, right? If X and Y is given to me, if independent values, set of independent values or set of dependent values are given to me, I can easily find out the mapping function F. What I will do with that? If I can find out the mapping function F, right? Right? If I can find out a mapping function, I can use that mapping function to find the value of y for any new value of x. Can it happen, guys? Let me know what I said to you. X and y is given to me. If x and y is given to me, I can find out the mapping function. And using that mapping function, I can find out the value of y for any new value of x, right? Finding the value of y, right? Finding the value of y for any new value of x is called as prediction in machine learning. What we call it as? Prediction in machine learning. We call it as a prediction, right? So what is prediction? If you can find out the mapping function, and after finding out the mapping function, if a new value of x is given to you, you find out the value of y. This act or this activity is called as prediction in machine learning. When x and y are given to you to find out the mapping function in machine learning, x and y together called as data set. What we call them as? Data set. So in a machine learning project or a machine learning problem, what is given to us always? A data set is always given to us. And what it will have? It will have x and y. It will have independent variable and it will have dependent variable, right? Independent variable can be multiple. So in example, I took only x, right? But it can be more than one, right? So that is our data set. And finding out the mapping function, using the data set is called as training of the model. Yeah. What we call it as? Training of the model, right? So in any machine learning model or any machine learning project, generally what would be given to you? A data set would be given to you. What you would use, what you would do with that data set? You will train your model, right? And what is the meaning of training the model? Finding out the mapping function. Finding out the mapping function. And then finally, what to do? Perform prediction. And now you guys know what is prediction, what is data set, and what is the training of your model, right? Now, in your computer science, a subject data structure, you have heard about sorting, right? Searching. For sorting, you guys know there are a lot of algorithms, right? There are a lot of algorithms. Maybe you can use quick sort, maybe you can use insertion sort, right? Maybe you can use bubble sort, right? Maybe you can use selection sort. There are a lot of methods, right? There can be merge sort. There are a lot of methods through which you can perform sorting, right? Similarly, there are lot of algorithms. There are lot of algorithms in machine learning, as well, using which you can find out the mapping function, right? So generally machine learning involves, right? Generally machine learning involves working on these algorithms, that which algorithm is good for us, right? Because you guys know that sometimes quick sort is good for us, sometimes insertion sort is good, right? It depends on time complexity, space complexity, condition, problem statement, lot of things like like that. And the same way, there are a lot of algorithms using which we can train our model and find out the mapping function, correct mapping function. Guys, did you get a clarity around what is machine learning, right? So machine learning is the way to achieve AI, and how to mathematically define machine learning. I took the example that y is equal to fx as the starting point, right? And x and y are called data sets here. Given x and y, you can find out the mapping function. To find out the mapping function, you have a lot of algorithms in the literature, right? And once you find out a mapping function, you can perform predictions for the future values of x. And that activity is, the kind of a final activity that we do in any machine learning project. Right, guys? Was I able to make you understand that what the machine learning is, guys? A lot of people raising hands now, so I think they have got it right. Good. Now, guys, deep learning, right? Deep learning is a specific part, a specific part of machine learning only, right? But in case of deep learning, we use neural networks, right? So I'm just taking a name, but I will not talk about much into that. So when you use neural network, it is a computation architecture, guys. So if you use neural network architecture to compute the data, to train the model, to perform the prediction, then that activity is called as deep learning, right? Generally, deep learning is used when you have the data in form of images, in form of audio, in form of a video, right? Or in form of a large text. In those cases, you use deep learning, right? If I take a good example right now for you, that how you can understand where the deep learning is used. Couple of ways you can understand. The one example I can take, when you upload your photo on the Facebook, right? It identify who is there in your picture, and do you want to tag them, right? Does it identify your friends there? Does it identify the faces there? Yes, it identifies the faces in your picture. That is one example of deep learning, and that particular activity is called as computer vision. What you call as computer vision, right? So Facebook, you know, tag a friend, one more example I can take, you use Gmail, right? And when you write a reply, or when you write an email, nowadays you can see it suggests you the complete sentence sometimes, right? And you can choose that sentence by just pressing the tab. Do you guys experience that while you type a message in the Gmail inbox, it gives you suggestions in the a statement that, okay, do you want to write this, right? That is again an example of deep learning there, guys, right? So kind of examples I have taken. So deep learning and the machine learning are the ways to achieve AI. Then what is data analytics? Now I'm coming to this, term, data analytics, right? So this is data analytics, right? Now, guys, what is data analytics? I'm going to define it through an example. So listen, everybody, listen very carefully to me, guys. Let's say uh, you study in a college, and the name of that college is, let's say, XYZ College of Engineering, right? Right? Engineering and, let's say, management. Okay. So that's the XYZ College of Engineering and Management, and you are the student of this college, right? Now, I'm the third year student, right? And I'm the student of this college. And now, because I'm into third year and moving to final year, so obviously I have little bit anxiety around my placement activities, right? So I want to go and check with my placement officer, right? I go to my placement officer and meet him and ask him one thing, that, sir, can I get a data around the past placement activities, that how many placements happened in which year, kind of that. So let me, if that training placement officer is a very gentleman and wants to support you, so he shares the Excel sheet with you, right? So he shares the Excel sheet with you, right? And that Excel sheet has, let's say, last 10 years of data, So last 10 years of complete data is there around placement activities. Now I have a question for you guys. Using this Excel sheet, can I find out, right? Can I find out the year-wise placement, numbers? Can I find out the year-wise placement numbers? That, how many placements happened in 2019, how many placements happened in 2018 and 17 and 16 and 15 and so on? Can I find out the year-wise placement numbers? Yes, I can find out, right? Can I find out the average package? Can I find out the guy's average package? Yes, I can find out with that. Can I find out the maximum package that is given, that is given to, a student every year, right? Can I find out the maximum package ever in the last 10 years? Can I find out the lowest package ever in the last 10 years? Can I find out that which branch or which school or which major got the maximum placement opportunities from this college? Was it the CSE? Was it the IT department? Was it the EC department or electrical or civil or some other branch who got maximum placement opportunities? Guys, can I find such information from that Excel sheet? Do you agree with me that I can do that? Right? Finding out such information from the data and helping the management and helping the decision making process for future activities, right, is called data analytics. This activity of finding the insights, this activity of finding the patterns, this activity of finding the answer to your questions, this activity is known as data analytics. And always remember, data analytics is always happening on the past data. But when we talk about machine learning, we talk about what will happen in the future. And that's why I told you about the prediction activity, right? About the prediction that for any new value of X. So using this data, I can make a machine learning model which can probably predict whether I will get a placement or not. Because now it has a lot of data. Using this data, I can model, I can train my model, and probably it can find out the parameters, right, which are very relevant to a placement activities. And accordingly, it can give a prediction to every student who is part of third year right now that whether he or she will get a placement or not. Because your training and placement officer also identifies such features, whether you have the good enough marks or CGPA, whether you are good in communication, whether you are good in coding, or whether you are good in this. Do you have some project experience? Are you involved in extracurricular activities? Looking at so many parameters, he can give a prediction whether you will get a placement or not, whether you will get a job in a specific company or not, right? Because his brain is also learning with the past data. He has been working in that department for a long time. He knows the companies are looking for what kind of parameters or what kind of personality traits, right? So that is called a data analytics. Finding out such information, what I have written over the screen, is data analytics. And data analytics is again a very a critical field right now. There is a huge demand for data analyst people. There is a huge demand for people who are good in machine learning. There is a huge demand for the people who are good in deep learning, right? Now let me quickly define the big data, right? What is big data? Now big data is I take one example. Let's say over my machine, right? I'm using my machine, any data which is bigger than 500 MB, I'm not able to process on my machine, right? But Sylvester machine is, much more powerful, and the new age machine. So he can, probably, process the data up to 5 GB. So I can process data up to 500 MB on my old machine, but on Sylvester machine we can process a data up to 5 GB. For me, any data beyond 500 MB is big data for me, right? For Sylvester, any data beyond 5 GB is big data for a Sylvester. So as long as I can process that data on my local machine, I will not call it as the big data. Generally, big data is only the case when you are not able to handle it and you probably need a remote, a cloud or a cloud service like Amazon Web Service or Microsoft Azure or, a Google App Engine kind of, clouds, or DigitalOcean or Linode kind of, cloud services through you can, process your large amount of data. So big data has not a specific, a value that after this value we will call this data as a big data. The big data definition changes from person to person, project to person, project. There is no specific boundary that after that I will call it as a big data, right? Data, but the data is now, you know, uh, such a large amount of data is there that I cannot process it on local machine, and I need additional resources. I need additional memory. I need additional, a computation power to handle that data. In that case, we will call it as a big data. Right, guys? Right? So this is how deal with that. And to deal with the big data, you must have heard about Hadoop is there. It's a architecture to handle the big data. Spark is there, right? Databricks is there. So a lot of tools are available there, right? In Python, to perform data analytics, there are couple of libraries that if you are good in those libraries, you can perform data analytics very easily, right? What are those libraries? One particular popular library is called as pandas. Another library is called as numpy, which is actually numerical Python. So to deal with any mathematical operations, you use numpy, right? And there is one more library called as matplotlib. This is called used for visualization, showing your data in graphical format, right? Is called as visualization. To perform mathematical operations, you use numpy, and pandas is a very, very super powerful library, mostly mostly into what mostly into used into data analytics, finding out the relations. It can handle the tabular data very well, and it can find out a lot of answers. What we were asking in that case, that can you give me the year-wise placement numbers? Can you give me the average package? Can you give me the maximum or minimum packages? Pandas can identify, can answer such questions very easily. These are the most popular libraries, in data analytics, and that's why we have created a course for you guys around data analytics. Again, it's a 5 days course. We will consider these 3 libraries in details. We will also work on a live project starting from 4th May, that you guys know. You have the information right now. So I would recommend you that you guys look into the content, look into, more details, and register for the same. That's I have, given you around of, this is a promotion as well. Right. And now, if you want to perform, right, if you want to perform machine learning, right, there is a specific library called scikit-learn in Python. Scikit-learn, a very, very popular library to perform machine learning, activities, right? If you want to perform deep learning, you will need to use another set of libraries. A very popular library right now is Keras, is the most popular library. Another popular library is TensorFlow. This is another library. Both of these libraries are from Google. They are from Google, right? They are from Google, right? And the Facebook also has a library which is called as PyTorch. Amazon and Microsoft are also using one more library called AmexNet. So there are a lot of libraries available to perform deep learning, and in this category, you must have heard about OpenCV as well. CV stands for computer vision, right? OpenCV. So this is how, and YOLO, one more library is also there. So a couple of libraries are there. So I'm just explaining you guys that I have told you what are the libraries for big data: Hadoop, Spark, Databricks, right? These are the tools. What are the libraries for data analytics? Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. What is for machine learning? You have scikit-learn, right? And what is for deep learning? You have Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch, MXNet, OpenCV, and YOLO, right? So you know uh, that would be uh, the case. And one last definition I have to take, guys. Someone asked me about the IoT. So IoT is called as Internet of Things, right? Internet of Things. So what exactly is things? Any physical object is actually things, right? So if you can, let's say uh, you have, in your let's say a college campus, right? In your college campus, you want to know the quality of air, right? Or you want to know the humidity in your college campus or in your classroom, right? For that, what you can do, you can use a sensor to read that data. Once sensor reads the data, we use internet, right? We use internet to send data, to cloud or to database, right? The database can be local or can be on the cloud, but I mean it can be remote. Once you receive that data, right, you can actually use data analytics here. That is how IoT works. So IoT is just a mean of collecting the data, right? IoT is just the mean of collecting the data. Once you collect the data, you send it through internet on a remote cloud or remote server, right, or a remote database, and then you perform data analytics, or you perform ML, right, or you perform DL kind of activities, right? Anything that happens around data is called data science. Anything that happens around data is called as data science. So data science includes everything. Data analytics is there, that is part of data science. Machine learning, it is also again part of data science, right? Big data, part of data science. So anything that happens around data is called as data science. And any person who is working as into this domain is is called as data scientist, right? So generally, when you say who is data analyst, so generally the data analyst would be the guy who would be mostly working here using these libraries and performing the visualization. But the data scientist would be a guy who has a little bit of domain knowledge as well. So domain knowledge means they have some experience. So let's say if you want to build a machine learning project around healthcare, so you have someone who knows how healthcare works. Or maybe you want to develop a project in insurance segment, right, or insurance domain, so you have a guy who knows how the insurance works, right, how the business works, and that kind of a guy would be called as scientist, right? So data analyst. So what I can tell you guys, as a junior, as a fresher, you can become a data analyst, but after certain experience you can become the data scientist. So this is a clear cut difference, guys, that as a fresher, it is very difficult to get you as a data scientist, but easily you can get a data analyst job. And later on, once you get the experience, you move from data analyst position to data scientist position, right? So guys, if you want to become the data science, what you can do, first learn Python. After that, learn data analytics, right? After that, work on machine learning projects. After that, work on deep learning projects. That's the kind of uh, you know uh, activities you should consider if you want to be in this domain. if I quickly talk about what are the opportunities available for you in this domain, there are a lot of opportunities right now, right? Recently, I have gone through a report, right, which is saying that there are lakhs of positions available related to data analytics and data science, right, in India, right? This is the data from 2019 report, right? And this requirement is increasing almost at 50% rate. Every year there is an increment of 50% in the demand of the people who are good into data analytics and data science, right? And almost every leading organization, right, have the openings for analytics, right? Maybe Accenture, maybe Amazon, maybe KPMG, maybe Honeywell, maybe Wells Fargo, maybe Ernst and Young, maybe Hexaware, maybe TCS, maybe Wipro. Any company you talk about, they all are looking for people who are good into this domain, right? And uh, uh, generally, when people advertise their positions in data science, some of them call them as data, analytics manager, some of them call as business analyst, some of them call as research analyst, some of them will call them as data analyst, some of them will call as consultant, some of them will call so every company has a different name, right? Python will continue to dominate the market, guys. That's the report from 2019, and this is the link I have used. If you can see on the screen, Analytics India magazine, right? So that's the point here. Someone is saying, sir, can you please provide the file and you gather the information? So I will share this file as well. One faculty member also requested for this. So I will share this, guys, with you, right? Here, you can get this in the chat window as well, right? So you can get this in the chat window as well, right? So that's how you guys, so I'll just copy and just paste it. Yeah, I'll send it as a file. I think it's too large text. I can't send it. So Sylvester sir will send it. Don't worry, guys. Right? It will be available to you. So this is how, guys. I think it's a good idea around that, and accordingly we have we have a program for you. And I have a question coming up, Monica, saying, sir, when we will get our certificate. So if we are done with the course today, right, and next couple of days you will get your certificates, guys, right? So that's the question asked by Monica. Your, certificates will come to you soon in next couple of days, and maybe uh, you know in next 2-3 days you will get your certificates. Don't worry about
By
that.
Saturday, Sunday, they'll be receiving, sir.
What do you say?
By Saturday, Sunday, they'll be receiving the
Okay.
certificates.
So Sylvester are saying by Saturday, Sunday, you will be receiving your, then. And on my screen, guys, you can see again, I'm just talking about the upcoming course, Practical Data Analytics season, prime season. And this is the, details we have. And someone was asking for the fees, guys. The fees is just 500 rupees for 5 days, just 100 rupees a day, right? So, that's how you guys. So guys, did you get a clarity, right, that what are these different terms, where how uh, this is how how we define AI, how we define ML, DL, data analytics, data science, big data, IoT. Is it like, was it a good session for you guys? Was it like interesting to you? Kangan saying, sir, will the recording of today would be available on YouTube? Yes, the recording would be available on the on the YouTube, right? So uh, thank you, guys. That's how okay, guys. So that's the guys, and Uh, I think, timings would be same for the next session. Priyanka is asking, sir, timing the same for next session? Yes, timing would be from 5 to 7. Someone saying, sir, any details required from our side for the certificate? Yes. So Surinder, who is managing all this activity, who is the coordinator of this program, will probably share a Google form with you. You have to fill that form,
No, no, sir. No, sir. There's no
with
Google form,
all
sir.
of your correct names and everything, and
Excuse
then
me, sir. There's no Google form. These people have already submitted the form, registration form,
like,
and they always submit a assignment form. We'll take the data from there. There's
right.
no
So,
separate form.
so guys, you have shared your details while registering for this program. So Surendra will take those details from that and generate a certificate for you, right? So this is how you know. Now Sylvester sir will start his discussion and discuss around the around the assignments, right? Around assignments. So guys, I tested. Okay, now there was a question, guys, that why we are typecasting, you know, map, you know, or filter or reduce into a list, right? Now, guys, there was, I told you that I will answer that question later on, right? If you remember that currently you just need to typecast what we get through map or, filter or, reduce. So if I take that example list, let me tell you example this, right? And uh, I write a quick map into that. So I write a map here, and I can quickly write a lambda function here that it will takes, and it will give us the square values, right? And I just pass the list one. Right? So guys, see this. And this time I'm not, typecasting it to list and see the output. Can you guys see? Did you see the response, guys? This is giving me an address actually, right? This is giving me a just reference actually, in using an address. So basically, what happens? I'm going to tell you. Map actually returns a generator. There is a new term coming up, which I will not discuss in much detail, guys, right? Map actually returns a generator. Generator, a very good concept in Python, right? But it's an advanced topic. It is kind of a, how to use regular expression, how to use generators and all, right? And used in machine learning quite heavily. So it actually returns a generator, right? And generator actually does not give all set of values in one go. Generator always gives one value at a time, right? And that's why to get all the values in one go, we typecasted this map to list. And that's why we were able to get the response, in, all of the, responses corresponding to every item in the list, we were able to get it. So did you guys get what I'm saying? Map and filter, they always return you a generator, which although we did not discuss in our program, but you should understand that. And for your clarity, you can read more about around that, right? And generator is a lazy evaluator. It gives one value at a time. You have to ask the generator, give me the next, give me the next, give me the next, right? And to avoid that, we typecasted it to a list so that we get all set of values in just one, right? So this is how you typecasted. That was the reason that you typecasted to our list. So now I think Rapasri must be happy because he was asking this question for a long time. So thank you, Rapasri, for asking this. Now, that's the point here. And now Sylvester sir will take your session and, taking the session now. So I'm going for a break, and Sylvester sir will continue the discussion with you guys, right? And I'll be back soon. Sylvester sir.
Wait a minute, sir. Let me take the control. I'll share my screen.